Hi, it's Ethan Mussolini, the Merchant of Success. Welcome to this episode whereby I'm sharing with you a couple of tips and tricks on how to make this new year the best year of your life. Now, one of the questions I received was around, well, I typically start the new year with big plans, with big dreams, and then by the end of the year, I am more or less where I was, financially, spiritually, physically, and all sorts of things. So what's the magic? How do I change that? I feel that's a really great question that was posted on my Facebook page. And here is what I think. Typically, or usually, and someone was telling me soon, this week actually, as of this recording, I've been invited to appear on national TV, talk about New Year resolutions. And I think that's where the challenge is. We typically resolve, and usually it's not even a resolution per se. Typically, in my view, in my personal view, people have wishes and they mistake them for resolutions and commitments. You see, a wish is like, okay, this year I want to do this, and that's it. Then people talk about it, or sometimes they even write about it, and boom, it stops there. But you see, that's not how life works. That's not how results work. Can you imagine someone getting into the airplane, a pilot, feeds in the details and says, hey, you know what? I'm just going to fly from Tokyo to New York, and then goes to sleep and doesn't do anything. And then the plane magically finds itself there. No! Apparently, planes, they find themselves 95% off course, meaning they are not in terms of the direction they should be, but this pilot has to keep making corrections to make sure that it goes to its final destination. So, in this metaphor, what do we pick from there? One is, instead of just resolving, commit. Instead of just wishing, commit. Have a plan. And number two, don't just have a plan, keep tracking. Am I on course or off course? Is what I'm doing getting me closer to my resolutions, to my commitments, to my goals or not? If they are, fantastic, keep doing that. If something that you're doing is keeping you away, stay away from it. But you see, oftentimes we just write it once at the beginning of the year and then we forget about it. Then the old behavior sets in. But you and I know that we have certain habits or behaviors that are not helpful for our personal dreams, whether personal or professional or business-wise. So you have to keep tracking yourself. And again, that's where the coach comes in very handy in one of the videos I recorded. You have to keep yourself on track because, there are so many distractions. So unless you keep checking or calibrating to figure out whether you're still on course or not, then you're definitely going to find yourself being where you were a couple of years ago and you're like, what happened? Yes, what happened is, oftentimes or most times, is you didn't keep track. You didn't just write things and you didn't keep noticing what is changing or what's not changing. And number two, to make sure that you don't replicate your past year, which may not have been as successful, is you have to change behavior. Let me give you an example. Let's assume you're earning a certain amount of money. Let's say $1,000 a month. And this coming year, you want to generate at least $2,000 a month. Well, what's your plan to make sure that that happens? Because unless you change something in your systems, in your marketing, in your thinking, in your skill set, in how much value you're creating for either the organization you're working with or the business you have, then nothing will change. So that if you don't change, nothing changes. Instead, you might even find yourself going backwards. So you have to be ready to change something. You have to change behavior. You have to change strategy. It could be a strategy also. This morning, when I was walking out, I was going to the bank, I saw a gentleman. I was in his Mercedes-Benz. I've seen him for a couple of years. He seems to be very well off financially. And the reflection I got was, look, this guy never seems to be hustling. but he seems to be very okay. Doesn't actually seem, I know that he's well off financially. Now, I was reflecting because I was saying, oh, this year I have to work harder. Well, maybe I don't need to work harder, I need to work smarter. So I was reflecting and thinking to myself, saying, look, surely it is also possible to make a lot of money without working much harder, but you must have the right strategy, you must have the right business model, you must have the right execution. So, assuming it's business, it might be the right idea, but are you executing it the right way? Because execution is critical. Strategy is powerful, but execution of that strategy will determine whether that strategy comes to life or not. So you need to also reflect, is your strategy right? Are you executing things the right way? Because unless you have all those components right, then things won't be right. So you need to change something, but most importantly, be careful to notice whether you have the right strategy and the right execution. And of course, keep monitoring. And because the challenge is, usually people make these resolutions, most times which I call wishes. And then sometime in December, he says, hey, by the way, I had wanted to do this, but look, the year is gone. Oh my goodness, what happened? Yes, what happened is you weren't reflecting and reviewing whether you were on target or off target. So I'm challenging you to reflect on things on a daily basis, to make sure that you review goals. That's something I've been doing the last couple of months, which I've noticed has really helped me, because before I go to sleep, I look at my goals. How far? Where am I at? And just that constant focus on the goals helps me to make sure that I'm not surprised by the end of the year. So I hope this serves you. And if you found this video helpful, if you're on YouTube, please like my channel, subscribe to my channel so that you can receive more of this content moving forward. If it's on my blog, or you could sign up for my newsletter, and if you've liked it, if you've liked this content, like it, share it so that we can reach out to as many people as possible. And share with me your thoughts and comments. What does it take to make sure that you're not surprised by the end of the year, but rather you believe that you're on target, you are on point, so to speak. And of course, you can go to my website, ethanmussolini.com, and also succeedingdaily.com. Subscribe to my newsletters there. There are materials there. There are many articles there which would be of great use to you. And of course, if you need coaching, you can go to ethanmussolini.com/coaching, ethanmussolini.com/coaching. You can drop me an email at info@ethanmussolini.com, or call directly at +256 772 936361 if you want me to become your coach, or to come and speak to your staff members, to your group, wherever you are in the world. I can come over. Yes. So other than that, may you make this year the best year of your life, and I will see you in the next video.